Good evening. Thank you for joining in. Before I get started, I need you to subscribe below, like, comment, share this YouTube video. I am going to do for the first time a baby bottle. We're going to customize sublimation a baby bottle. So the first thing you're going to do is take the bottle loose. You want just the container part of it. Take away the handle and the nipple part. Put that back in the box for now, along with the bag. Okay, I have my image here that I did on sublimation paper with sublimation ink. My measurements are 8.25 by 6.25 are the measurements I used for this baby bottle. I have my image that I designed in Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop. I printed it on my Epson 7710. And now what I'm doing is I'm just cutting it out so then I can wrap around this bottle to process it. And since the size of it is a little bit slender than my tumbler press, I'm just going to use my convection oven instead of using my tumbler press this time. Got my image, I have it all cut out. So you're going to need, once again, your image, your convection oven, or your tumbler press. You need a heat glove because it's going to be extremely hot. Your scissors, your heat tape, and your bottle or tumbler. It's basically the same process. We're going to take the image and I'm wrapping it around the bottle. Really tight to where it'll meet. And this is, I'm not sure if I said this is Craft and Besties paper that I use for my sublimation projects with Cosmos ink. And I'm just trying to get it to where it's flushed even around the item. I'm pulling it extremely tight. I'm going to take heat tape, tape the bottom, and then I'm going to tape the top right there just to hold it in place. Pull it, make sure it's there, make sure there's no gaps. I'll take my tape and just go across to hold it, and I'm pulling really tight as I adhere the tape to the bottle itself. You just have to make sure it's there and you're pulling it to make sure it's really tight and it's on there. Now I'm going to take a longer piece of tape and I'll go around the top edge of this item, the baby bottle, pulling the tape really tight as I circle it around the bottle, the image. I didn't get enough tape, so let me get another piece of tape. Pulling it really tight, making sure it's on there with no gaps. Then I'm going to do the same thing around the bottom. Get the piece of tape. And then just go around, making sure you're pulling it really tight because you don't want any gaps there. Hold that in place, get another longer piece of tape, and I'm going to tape the seam, pulling it tight, and then using my hand to run along that edge, making sure it's there and pressed against, and it's all tight, nice and snug. I make sure this, because I'm not going to use any shrink wrap with this. I'm just going to do the tumbler in the, I'm sorry, I keep saying tumbler, the baby bottle in the oven. My oven is at 400 degrees, and I'm going to put this in there for 6 minutes at 400 degrees. And when I started this video, I was processing a tumbler that's getting ready to come out of the oven now, which I still use the same process with the tumbler. But since I was doing the baby bottle, like I said, I just did it all in the oven and not the tumbler press. So there it is. I've ran my hand around. There's no gaps. It's flush against it. I don't feel any air pockets or anything that's going to cause any fading or anything of that sort. Let me grab this tumbler out of the oven. And I'm going to put the bottle in the oven for 100 degrees for 6 minutes. And we're going to let that cook for 6 minutes. And while that's cooking, I'm going to take this off, because like I said, I was also processing a tumbler. There is a video. I've done a video here on YouTube on how to process the tumblers. It's on my channel. I've done one on how to do it in the convection oven, and then I updated it and did a video on how to do it in a tumbler press. So there's 2 ways. You can choose which you prefer. If you like a shorter time, the tumbler press does it in 2 minutes. The convection oven, you can do more than just tumblers. So it's whichever you choose you want to use. But when I get through the baby bottle, it'll look as this tumbler does right now. This thing is hot. The first one I did tonight was this one. So I had to create this design for the customer. The person is from New Orleans. They're a Cowboys fan, but they support both teams. So they wanted something special and unique for that person. That's what I came up with. We have 4 minutes to go left on the baby bottle. I'll tell you, go through it once again what I used. I used my image that I did in Microsoft. I'll turn the camera around. My image I did in in Adobe Photoshop. I did it, my measurements are 8.25 by 6.25. I used Cosmos ink and Craft and Besties paper. You're going to need a heat glove because it gets really hot. You don't want to have to burn your hand after that thing's been in the oven. Scissors to cut my image. I use an X-Acto knife, whatever your method is, to take off. As you saw, I was taking off the tape and everything from around the image itself. You put it in the convection oven. If you're going to use the convection oven, you put it in the convection oven. You have to have, I would strongly suggest that you get a oven internal thermometer, because the temperature sometimes is off from what you set it at. It's not what's on the inside. The internal is the same as the knob. You're setting at convection 400 degrees for 6 minutes to do your bottle. We have 2.5 minutes left to go. So oh, I'm sorry, the heat tape. So once again, supplies to make sure we all got it right. Need your image. I did it Adobe Photoshop. I printed it on my Epson 7710 with Craft and Besties paper and Cosmos ink sublimation. You're going to need scissors to cut the image out. You're going to need a heat glove when it gets ready to come out the oven, because it's going to be extremely hot. The convection oven needs to be set at 400 degrees on convection. You put it in there, set your timer for 6 minutes, and let it go. We're down to 2 minutes, and I'll be right back. I'm back. We're down to 30 seconds. I just didn't want y'all to have to sit here and look at me for the whole time period. We're down to about 20 seconds now. I'm getting ready to take this out of the oven. And like I said, you'll need the heat glove because it's going to be extremely hot after being in there in 400 degrees for 6 minutes. It's going to be very hot to touch. So please make sure when you're doing processing tumblers, you have your heat glove. Let me grab this out the oven. Hold on 1 second. Okay. I got everything kind of real close to me. Okay, now we're going to take off the plastic and let's see what the tape. And let's see what we have here. If you're using something pointed to take a sharp, make sure you don't scratch the item while you're trying to take it off because it will scratch. That's why I'm being really careful and I'm going through and pulling it up. It is hot, but we do have a Girl Boss baby bottle. It's hot, and I'll put it together in just a second. There we go. And there's your bottle. Ready for that baby. Ready to go. It's a baby bottle. Don't forget, sorry, I'm going back. Don't forget to like, raise this up. Don't forget to subscribe and like my videos. I will be posting more. I'm trying to make sure I post a video for everything that I've processed or that I sublimate so you all can see how it's done when I'm posting the items. Thank you. And follow me also. I'm on Facebook under Blended Impressions, and I'm also on TikTok under Blended Impressions. Thank you. Have a good night.